Okay, I'm here with my buddy Bogi. This is Bogi. Bogi is a 10-year-old King Charles Cavalier, and he also is a former show dog. And so he lucked out by no longer having that lifestyle. Those dogs don't have very much of a life usually. He's also, we believe, deaf. And let me see. So you see he's not really responding to that. So his marker signal is this. And so we usually use a marker word or a sound, but because he can't hear them, we use that. So he likes to bark when people get up and move around. Now I can show you the before, but take my word for it, when we get up and move around, he's gonna bark. So what we're gonna do, I don't wanna get him all fired up because it's gonna make this video about 10 minutes longer than it needs to be. So what I wanna do is I wanna create a positive association with me getting up and moving about. Now, we talked about a lot of other things off camera about providing the safe environment, getting enough mental and physical exercise, and all those things are very important, so please don't disregard them, but this is a technique specifically for this. So we call it a precedent. For dogs, something causes something is how they process things. So if I stand up and start moving and he barks and I leave or I sit down, then his barking had accomplished something. So what I want to actually have him think is the movement that I make is a precedent to him getting this, which is a very high value treat. Now, if I just stand up and start moving, he's probably going to bark. So when I first do it, I might pair the two things together. So I'm going to go like this, and this is the training wheels version. I stand up, and then I release the treat. I should have waved first. And so he didn't have a reason to bark because I'm holding a treat like right in his face, and it's a really good treat, and he's preoccupied by that. I stand up. Then I would say the marker signal. Well, actually, I would do the marker signal first. At first, initially, when we're doing this one, I guess the marker doesn't really matter. So all I want to do is just get him used to it. So I get like this, and then I release the treat. And so he's comfortable with that. So we want to do that 3 or 4 times. And eventually what I would do then is I would stand up and then wave and give him the treat. The waving, again, is his marker. So now when I stood up like that, let's say he started growling. Well, that's his way of saying, I'm uncomfortable, I'm about to start barking. We don't want to disagree with the growl. We never want to disagree when a dog disagrees with us. We want to take note of what he's saying. We might not agree with his disagreement, but we do need to acknowledge it because that's what it is, a form of communication. So if that were the case, let's say he started growling. When I stood up, I might do this. I want to wait for him to look at me first. Grooming is important. There you go. So I might go like this and give him the treat. So I'm going to break it down and go to a smaller and smaller movement. The idea is I do a small enough movement where he's aware of it, doesn't react, and I give him a treat after the movement. Essentially, I'm going to get it to him for not reacting, but in his perspective, he's getting the treat because when David raises his butt off the deal a little bit, I get a treat. Make sure he's always looking so he didn't catch him off guard, and then I go a little bit higher, wave, give him the treat. And eventually it gets to a point where you stand up, wave, and give him a treat. Now this is a laborious process, and it's very easy, but it takes a lot of repetition. So the next step, and can you see me when I stand? You just can't see my head? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So I might go like this. So right there, he said that was too much. We got a little bit of a bark. So that means I got what I like to refer to as got greedy. So then I might go like this. Wave, give him the treat. Wait for him to get done chewing. I stand up all the way, wave and give him the treat. Stand up and take one step, wave and give him the treat. And you saw there was a little tiny bit of one there. So that was a little bit much. So now I'm going to do the same thing. Stand up. So I made it a little bit of a smaller movement. Always back up a step, because what we're essentially doing is having him practice watching this activity and not reacting. If he reacts, that's what he's practicing doing. So you can do the same thing with guests. Problem is, when it comes to dogs, we do something with dogs that we would never accept for ourselves. You're going to learn how to do open heart surgery? Okay, let's just go ahead and crack somebody's chest open and see how you do it. We would never do that. We learn how to do things first. We educate ourselves. We are in school. Then we go to grad school. Then we actually learn about the procedure. We watch videos of the procedure. Then we eventually assist while somebody else is doing the procedure. Then we do it in the, yes, I know. We do it with somebody watching us. We do one element of it. By the time I actually do the full procedure, I should know all the ins and outs because I've been taught and educated and knowledgeable. And even then, it's pressure filled because it's the first time I'm doing it by myself. For dogs, we often don't teach them how to behave and then get really mad at them when they don't do what we want. So for dogs, what we want to do is instead of just having a friend, random friend come over, now I'm in a guest mode. I'm thinking about hosting my guest. No, go through your phone. It's coronavirus. We're ending coronavirus, hopefully. People wear these damn things. But basically what we want to do is go through your phone in your address book. I have a friend that will listen. Let's say you have another friend named David like me, and he's just not going to listen. He's going to pet. He's going to move around. No, dogs are great with me. He won't bark. Why should I bark at him? Because you're not listening. So instead, what we want to do is we're going to find our friend. Hey, Tony, I need you to come over. I haven't seen you for a while. We'll grab a 6-pack of some beer. You know, we can hang out. And we got this dog. I have to practice a little exercise with people he doesn't know. Can you help me with that? Sure. Now Tony's coming over helping you. You pick Tony because he doesn't disregard what you're saying. And he's kind of maybe a more quiet guy. He's more laid back, or he has certain attributes that your dog is normally reactive to. So we have our friend come over to practice this with us. So I wouldn't do the treat trail and all the rest of the stuff I showed you earlier. I would just have them come in, set them up for success, get them the exercise, let them recover, and then have your friend watch this video and just have them do it. And at first, you might just have your friend just simply trying to get to the point where they can stand up and take one step, and then maybe it takes you 25 repetitions. You get to that point, always then remember on a good one. So then if that's the case, and it'd be ideal if your friend lives nearby, so you don't have to actually leave, so they can make it a shorter visit. So then basically when I'm getting ready to leave, I might take a treat, I might throw it like over there, so he gets, and then I can get up and leave. I would throw it further away so he's off camera, or have one of you call him away, and then the guest gets up and leaves. So when the guest comes over, we want to orchestrate this so that they're doing the exercise, and then maybe we put him away in the other room and give him a bully stick or something in his kennel, and then we can entertain with our friends, and then if our friend gets up and moves around a little bit, he's not practicing barking. And then basically, so what I would probably do, because it's going to be, you're going to have people visit, I would have them come over, do the exercise like I just described, do that for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes max. Then he goes into gets a lick mat in his kennel or a bully stick or some high value item that he doesn't get at any other time, so he likes it. He's comfortable going in his kennel and he's having the time of his life. You get to entertain your friend for a good, half an hour or so. And then you bring him back and have your friend repeat the exercise a second time after he's gotten his reset. And then you have him go outside, or maybe you take him outside for a little walk and walk your friend to his car. And so now he has a whole practice of not barking at that guest over the course of an hour, but it was only maybe 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. And then you might have to have that guest come by a couple times. Now he can take 3 steps, 4 steps. Eventually you can go all the way to your fridge, get a beer, come back, wave at him, and then give him the treat. So he looks at it when the guest gets up to go to the refrigerator. That's something I shouldn't bark at, actually something I like, because it means that I'm going to get a reward at the end of it. This is something that will work better if you can be on a daily basis. I know it's not practical, but try to set aside a week to 10 days where I'm going to have one new person come by every single day and practice the same exercise, because he will start carrying momentum. He understands kind of what's going on with it. All right, let's see if we can get a sit. Well, this is my buddy Bogi. Isn't he handsome? And these are some tips you can use if you have a dog that likes to bark at somebody, so you can use a little counter conditioning to stop the dog from barking.